how's it going, Keith?
Going good, Ryno. How are you today?
I'm good, thank you. Yourself, man.
Good.
Sorry, I didn't actually see originally. Which country are you from?
I'm from India.
Oh, so nice to meet you. And yeah, greetings from South Africa.
Yeah, pleasure meeting you today, Ryno. So, Ryno, how was the day
Yeah,
so far?
likewise. Quite busy actually. Yeah. And well, as you know, in India, Durban here in South Africa also has a very humid climate, so it's been incredibly hot lately, and today was no different. So, yeah, quite a hectic day, but it's been good. It's been good. How you been?
Oh, it was a good day. It was a good day, Ryno.
I'm happy to hear that, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Ryno, Failed Visions 1 is scheduled to be out on April 8th. So, can you tell me a bit about the songwriting and production behind this new album?
Okay, so similar approach to what we took with Modern Day Illusion, which was our debut EP. But we just branched out a lot more in terms of, although we're fundamentally a thrash metal band, we
Yeah.
branch out into other genres. Some of the songs are a lot heavier. We've got some nice, tasty breakdowns in there. Still very much writing about like just social issues and life, more sense of a commentary as opposed to telling people what to think. And yeah, I think we dug a little bit deeper in terms of inspiration. So like instead of just listening to the usual stuff like Slayer and stuff like that would base our influence on, we, like for myself, I've been listening to a lot of Lorna Shore and that type of stuff lately, and not to say we sound anything like them, but I definitely drew some of the breakdown ideas from that. And also with our new drummer Daniel Philogene, he's also definitely brought in a whole new aspect, you know, from his background, because he's been involved with very heavy, very slamming bands in the past. So yeah.
Wonderful. And was there any particular concept that you guys put behind this album?
Not as such, but the song Faded Visions is a very strong commentary on like state of mind, state of mental health in many ways. More in terms of, from what I understand, because Warren wrote the lyrics for it, in the sense of like a path to enlightenment, if you want to word it like that. But then we also do have the song PTSD, which was the first single, and it's the name is very literal. It's about the condition of PTSD and the horrors and real life trauma that PTSD victims face every day. So yeah, that along, you know, with states of mental health and just things in the world that couldn't perhaps affect and bring that into one's life and trigger people in those ways. Yeah.
Sounds good. And talking about Failed Visions 1, the 5-track album is totally amazing. Each song has been perfectly crafted. Every part has been progressed really well. Vocals, guitars, drums, everything was perfect. So it was total amazing album for this year, I would say. So great work from you guys. So as a band, how do you feel about the outcome?
Well, hearing you saying things like that definitely makes me feel great. Firstly, a little bit overwhelmed even. It's always lovely hearing feedback like that, but it's also, you know, you're still got to kind of grasp it. We're very proud of it though. We definitely put a lot of work into it, and it's 5 songs, and we're obviously going to be releasing Faded Visions Part 2 later in the year. So it's technically the first half of the album. So yeah, hearing feedback like that from you, we've also received some good reviews so far as well, and we're very grateful for that. So hopefully we're doing something right. I think a big aspect as well, we had Chris Anopoulos from Volvodinia who mixed and mastered the album. I think that definitely made a huge difference, because straight off the bat, such an easy guy to work with, so easygoing, such a wonderful human being, but also very strict with his approach. And like, I remember the initial tracks we sent to him, like, you know, like, here's the tracks that we got to, like, he's like, you have to redo everything. And we're like, what? He's like, no, you got to redo everything, you got to do this. So just gave us little tips to get a cleaner sound, a more crisp sound, and we definitely benefited from his experience and from his expertise. And I think that is a huge claim to, you know, the wonderful things you said about the album. It definitely made a difference, because it's one thing perhaps composing good music, but it's also got to sound good when it's coming out. And I think he really made a big difference in that regard.
Wonderful, wonderful. And how is the work progress for Fade Visions 2? So where are you right now?
Me personally.
No, I've been talking about the album. So how is the work progress
yes.
going on Fade Visions 2?
It's been good. We've done a lot of media pushes and obviously communicating with wonderful people like yourself. I actually had another Zoom interview probably about half an hour, 40 minutes prior to this. We're hard at work. We got David Oosthuizen from Diva Graphic. He manages us and he handles all our PR and admin and A&R and all that. He keeps us busy. He keeps us on our toes. And I don't think he sleeps. I don't think he's human, to be honest. He's so good at what he does. But as hard as the work is and as taxing as it is, it's all worth it, firstly. And as I say, just one of my favorite parts is meeting the amazing people that I have around the world, from countries like India and Belgium earlier today for me, and all the other interviews we've done around the world. So yeah, I think the progress is going well. I think we've got a good plan moving forward. And hopefully with things opening up in the world as it has, and as it has in our country, we've got some shows booked, which is fantastic. During the heavy lockdown with the previous EP, we did a lot of online shows. I'd definitely be open to do more of those for this as well. So yeah, I think we're on the right track. I hope so.
Wonderful, wonderful. And do you guys have any plans on the day of the release on April 8th?
We certainly do. Normally how we do it, and this time around as well, I think there will be an international release a few days prior, which I can't speak too much about right now, but there will definitely be. And actually, just before the show, we've been booked for a wonderful event in a province in our country called Gauteng. Very big event put together by Emilith Events. They put together very well-run professional shows and wonderful lineup of bands that we're sharing the stage with as well. So that's going to be 6 days before the launch, which is going to be fantastic because we'll have merch and some CDs there, so some people will get to hear the stuff beforehand. So that's going to be a nice way to kick it off. And yeah, we definitely got some stuff planned online. Our social media will be very busy at that time. And then after that, definitely just to push it as much as we can and perform as much as we can, because we love performing. We like being a live band. We enjoy connecting with people in person. So yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. And the band was formed during the peak of COVID around 2020. So and now you've been making music during this time, amazing songs you have created, and now you're going to release 2 amazing albums as well this year. So can you tell me how this really started and how you guys all got together and formed the band?
Okay, so before the peak of COVID, as you mentioned, I was very focused on my solo career, which I still am, which is very different to Decayed. It's not metal. My latest single I got out is a bit more along those lines, but it's a very different style of music, very ambient. And I'd actually just unofficially released my album. I did a short tour and I was going to push that further, and then COVID hit. And I was like, oh God, what now? I wasn't sure what to do. Then I contacted David Oosthuizen, as I mentioned earlier, to help me still push the album, even though I couldn't perform it live. I couldn't travel, couldn't even go out the house really. And he just opened up a lot of doorways for my album Howling Rush at that time. And it kept me busy, and it was good, and it was very exciting. And yet again, just opened up a whole world of all these wonderful podcasts and wonderful people. And then myself and my old school friend Warren, just, I suppose, through being bored, being at home, just started swapping riffs with each other, ideas and stuff. We'd send them to each other, and then we're like, hey, we should actually start something. And so the 2 of us got writing, and then Warren approached a longtime friend of his called Johan Marie, who was and is still our bass player. And he was just a wonderful addition to the band, because at that time he was very new to the instrument. He's still, learning his way around and everything, but he just brought such a raw energy and passion, like as we all do have when we start with our instruments and stuff. And that definitely elevated the band in many ways. And as things started opening up, we could rehearse together as a band and finally perform some live shows at strange hours because of curfew restrictions and stuff like that. Performing a metal show at 8 o'clock at night is a bit strange, but so we got into that, and yeah, it's just been a fantastic journey. And it's quite strange how we'd had released music before we even rehearsed fully as the band, purely because of the restrictions. But thank goodness for the technology today, we could do that.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's been a wonderful journey. We've gone through numerous drummers, but we settled now with Daniel Philogene, who's also been a major asset. And things have pretty much opened up in many ways in the country again now. So yeah, we're looking forward to taking it even further now. So yeah.
Amazing, amazing. And you have been endorsed by SA Guitars, and you are ambassador for a few other things as well. So how do you feel about the recognition?
Oh, it's wonderful. The AS Guitars endorsement came with my solo stuff quite a time before COVID. It's guitars designed by Lane Smith, hence the AS Guitars. Real master of his craft, and he creates these beautiful instruments. They just aesthetically beautiful as well, just the look and everything, and the feel of a guitar is amazing as well. So that was a wonderful opportunity for me as well, and I've got a good relationship with him as well, which is great. He's based in Germany now, South African, but he's living in Germany, so he's busy getting the company up and running there as well now. And then also with NFG Clothing. So there's this wonderful woman named Michelle Johnston, and she runs 13 Stone clothing and merch and all that. She's got her own clothing lines like the NFG range, which is the No Fucks Given range. So that's the part that I'm endorsed with the NFG range. And she also does all our merch. She's done all my solo merch and all the Truth Decayed merch. And surprisingly, for some reason, we don't know, we've managed to sell a lot of merch all around the world. I don't know why. And that relationship just started because she offered to sponsor us 5 shirts before we even knew each other. She just followed the band and liked what she saw. And we used that sponsorship then to get the merch out to some of the publishers and media houses and stuff that we were trying to connect with at the time. And I was just like, well, okay, you did this for us, you're our merch lady. And she was still like, yeah, but I'm sure you can get better prices and I can get better deals for you. And then I was like, no, you were good to us. And we've actually formed a real friendship. My wife and I enjoy her and her boyfriend's company as well. And we've developed a real friendship. And yeah, the NFG endorsement just came through some discussions we had, and it's worked out wonderfully. It's a brand that sort of suits her style of music. And her clothing is it's wonderful quality, and her designs are amazing as well. She's really good at what she does. So yeah, very, very proud, and I feel very privileged to be associated with the brand.
Amazing, Ryno, amazing. And talking about the band again, especially on the songwriting process. So does your song revolve around certain topics, or it's going to be diverse in the future?
Initially, I'd say it was very specific, especially being in the period of the hard lockdown. We're all in a similar mindset, I suppose. And also a lot of the topical issues we raised there was like the spread of misinformation and just how, no one really knows what's going on because there's so many different versions of truth on the internet and distorted versions of truth. So that was the initial focus. And it's still very strong in Faded Visions. But as I mentioned earlier, Faded Visions takes a lot of a look at mental health aspects and how it affects people, how these real life traumas affect people. And also we've got Absolute War and What I Know, which are more topical towards war-related issues and horrors of war.
Yeah.
And it links in nicely with the song like PTSD that we have as well, which focuses more about PTSD itself and the horrors and the struggles that PTSD victims go through all the time. And obviously a lot of PTSD victims war veterans and so on. But even just the horrors of COVID or anything, any of the horrible things that happen in this world could lead someone into that dark place, unfortunately. And so we definitely tackled those issues. It wasn't anything particularly planned. It's just what came out, I suppose. And then Witch's Watch on the album, that's obviously something very different for us because it's more like a fantasy song, if you want to call it that, and it is instrumental. It's very dark and ambient. Yeah, Warren wrote that beautiful piece. We wrote our solos, but the foundation of the song was written by Warren, and I think he did a fantastic job on that as well. So yeah, that's kind of the topical issues and the direction that we've taken. Fate of Visions Part 2, so far lyrically, what we got together, and that will be very much along the same lines. Johan's got some lyrics that he's got going for that as well. Very different perspective and very written in a different way. So that's going to be exciting to bring out as well. But it's still very much along the same lines. We like to think of it as social commentary as opposed to telling people what to think or how to feel. It's more just what we see and yeah, it's just a commentary on what we witness. Yeah.
Wonderful, Ryno. And before the release on April 8th, do you have any plans to come up with a music video from this album?
Oh, not sure if I should say or not, but I'll say it. We do have a music video in the works. At the moment we're discussing ideas and locations and things like that. And we're very fortunate that Daniel Philogene, our drummer, is a videographer as well, very talented one at that. He's actually shot one of my solo videos before he was even before Truth Decayed even existed. So yeah, he's brainstorming big time as well. We would also like to do essentially a sequel to our opposing direction video that we did with Linton Richards, which was mostly an animated video that he did for us. Beautiful video, did a wonderful job. So we also have ideas to do a sequel of that, not in terms of song, but of the ideas behind the videos, the visual side of it. But for now, the main one we focused on is a music video that's going to be shot by our drummer, Daniel Philogene. Yeah.
Wonderful. And talking about the band again, like I said, the music is really amazing. And I believe a lot of people should start listening to your music, and you guys have the capability and this power to make it big around the world. And how has the reception been so far for the band from all over the globe?
It's actually been remarkable, especially from the time we started. As I mentioned earlier, we have sold a lot of merch all around the world, all the way from Florida and Chicago in the United States, and I think even other parts of the United States. We sold merch in Portugal and Spain. We sent merch to parts of South America as well. Germany had a couple of orders as well. Portugal, the UK, we've sent a bit as well. I've actually lost track a little bit. So we do have a steady growing international audience. But one day, hopefully, it will get big enough to reach out to some of those countries and possibly go perform there. And surprisingly, Greece as well. We've had very good reception from Greece. Also sent merch, and we've got a very good relationship with the people from Radio Entropia, from George and his wonderful wife Tony. So that's also something we're looking very forward to. And yeah, we've been surprised. It's, I suppose, the blessing of modern age and modern technology. It's ironic because we sing about a lot of the negative aspects of the internet and social media, but there's so many positive aspects as well, like chatting to a wonderful person like you right now and connecting with all these wonderful fans around the world. In fact, I'd say our international following grew faster than our local following. Our local following starting now, and it's picked up nicely, and we've also gotten a lot of merch orders locally. But we definitely, I think, broke out more as an international band first. Purely, I think, because we were an internet band at first before we could start performing live and so on. We did a South African tour recently, so that's definitely helped our South African, not a South African tour, a Gauteng tour. It's a province outside of our province. But that definitely helped open up a lot of doors as well to get a couple more local people to recognize and enjoy our music too. Yeah.
Wonderful, Ryno. And how is the touring plans, or do you have any festival scheduled for you guys in this year?
So I think I mentioned it earlier, or it could have been in my previous interview I did. But we do have a wonderful show coming up on the 2nd of April. Which, yeah, I did mention it earlier, which is just before our launch, 6 days before our launch. That's through Emilith Events. And yeah, they put on very well-run shows, and it's awesome lineup of bands as well. So we're looking very forward to that. And with it being so close to a launch, it's very exciting as well. We do have another gig on the 7th of May, which is also in Gauteng. It's about 500 to 600 k's away from us, so it's quite a distance. And they've got a stronger following than our local area of Durban. So the show on 7th of May, that's going to be a more festival type environment. There will be camping and everything going on, and that's through Death Springer Productions. They also put on fantastic shows. Great bunch of people as well. The Springer band as well is amazing. Awesome lineup of bands. There are a lot of bands we know well as well and get on very well with. So we're definitely looking forward to that. That's going to be a banger of an event as well. And we do have one local show. I'm not sure if it's going to be in Durban, which is our city, but it will be in KZN in our province. That's coming up on 2nd July. Still planning going behind that. So those are the three main things we've got ahead now, but things are opening up more, so I'm sure more dates will come. And I know we do want to hit different parts of the country as well. Go down to Western Province and so on. And the PE scene is thriving big time as well. You've got Gost and Boiling Point that are doing amazing things there. We definitely love to connect with them. They're great guys as well. And yeah, if opportunities for international shows come as well, definitely we'll tackle that if there's any promoters that want to get on board with that. Funny enough, your home country, our guitarist Warren, he's been to India before. He loves the country. He's absolutely obsessed with it. That's definitely one place we would want to approach as well. Indian fans seem really passionate and seem to really enjoy their metal and just music in general. So, and from the stuff I've heard from Warren, I definitely want to go myself. So yeah, hopefully in the future.
Yeah, that'd be amazing, Ryno. That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
And would you like to share some of the great moments that you had over the years?
With Truth Decayed or just in music in general?
In general.
In general, okay. Well, Truth Decade's career is a little bit short, but we've had some fantastic moments. The formation of the band was obviously amazing, and how quickly things came together. As Truth Decayed, we've also, for some reason, people just connected with our music very quickly. We initially, when we got working, we couldn't rehearse as a band, but we could record. So we recorded our debut EP, which was Modern Day Illusion, and it was just one song at first, and we sent it off to a fantastic radio presenter here in South Africa named France Planet. And he's got a great show, and he had this awesome initiative for the Southern African Metal Madness Week. So it was for the whole Southern Africa, not just South Africa. And we were one of the top 5 voted bands for that competition. This is a competition. It was more just the case to showcase wonderful music in the Southern African area, but there was a competition element behind it, and somehow people connected with our music, and we managed to get in the top 5 of that. So that was a very nice early achievement. We then took part in a battle of the bands with the UK crew called the Metal Lab, with Tom Nando and his fantastic crew of people. They've also been very good to us. We ended up winning that band battle as well, which yet again was completely surprising. The votes came in, people enjoyed the stuff. Last year, at the end of the year, shortly after the release of our single PTSD, which also the release of PTSD was great as well. Sorry, I'm going on my own segue here, but that release was amazing as well, purely because the song did very well, but more importantly, the amount of people that connected with the message behind the song. None of us in the band are PTSD survivors ourselves, but a lot of people that have had issues with it and that do suffer from it and do live with it, connect with it with us in such a special way. And if your music can talk to people, especially about such a deep and personal topic, it was quite overwhelming and just a wonderful experience. So that's definitely a personal highlight for me, because yeah, I'm quite sensitive about mental health issues, and I think it is something that should be discussed. So that people could receive that message from us in such a profound way completely blew my mind. I really didn't expect that, but it was a very humbling and wonderful experience. But back on topic of what I was saying, at the end of the year after the release, we got nominated by, I'm still not sure by who yet, but for the Global Metal Apocalypse Awards. And we were in the Breakthrough African Band category, and we came in second place, like literally by 2% or something like that. So that was also like, just like, what happened? Like, I don't know, like, but it's a wonderful feeling when you know people are connecting with your music.
Yeah.
It's why you do it. You know, the any success or anything like that, those things are all wonderful, but to know that someone's listening to your music and it's speaking to them in some way, that's really what it's all about, because that's what I love about all the bands I enjoy, is how I can connect with their music. So yeah, there's been some great experiences. Aside from that, over the years, obviously I can't speak for everyone else in the band, but for me, just when my solo career took off, that was really, really exciting as well. But even in bands in the past that I've been in, if you can play in a pub or a festival and you've got people going crazy, and just that energy that gets created with that, it's, you know, life-changing in many ways, and it just changes your perspective of the world. You go through every day, and life is difficult, life is hard, but that one little experience can make up for like a month of, you know, horrible events. It's very therapeutic.
Absolutely, Ryno. And Ryno, thanks so much for sharing these wonderful moments with me today here. And finally,
Absolutely.
finally, what would be the message that you want to give to the fans around the world and for the people who are new to Decayed?
For the new fans, thank you very much. And even the older people that have been along with us from the start, it's just, this means nothing without you. If it wasn't for them, we'd just be people jamming in a room, which is fun, but that connection is what's important. And to this day, I still try, for any comment, any message we get, any person that buys merch, I try to personally thank them individually. I try to respond to every message or like every post or share that people do for us, because I believe that is important. If someone can take time out of their life to appreciate what we do, we can take the time to acknowledge them as well. It's just the way it is. It's almost rude to me if someone doesn't do it, because why should anyone be interested in my music if I'm not interested in their interest? And if I'm not grateful for it as well. So to all of them, what I say is just thank you so much. There are so many of them that are very special, that have become very close over time. There are some of them that are new, and there are many that are shy. And they don't connect with us in that way, but they're there. Like I'll see a purchase or something that happened, and I know they're there. And if they're a little bit more shy, obviously I won't push them into engaging in discussions and stuff, but I will somehow acknowledge and just thank you for being there for us, you know, because that it means nothing without them, and any success that we have or may still receive is directly through them. So it's as simple as that, really. Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful, Ryno. And Ryno, I want to thank you especially today for giving me this opportunity to have this interview with you. It's a real pleasure to meet you today. And thanks for
Likewise.
And thanks for putting up an amazing album, Faded Visions 1 and 2 this year. And it's a real honor to listen to you guys for the quality of music that you create and the musical professionalism that you have put inside this album. Great work from you guys again. And hopefully we'll be waiting to see you in the future on the road soon, Ryno.
India is definitely on our plans, so I would love to meet you in person. And please definitely stay in contact.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah. Well, one of my favorite experiences with these interviews and discussions and stuff is meeting amazing people like yourself, and also the friendships that have lasted after that. That's just so important to me. Yet again, you've taken the time to show interest in our band. I'll definitely take the time to show interest in what you're doing. So thank you so much for that, my friend.
Thank you, Ryno. And take care of yourself and have a great night out there. Take care of yourself. Bye.
You too. Thank you, man.
Thank you. Bye.